'82, I was 17, my old man was 55. If you do the math between the two of us, that's 72 years of life. An eternity, so it seemed to me. How could anything live that long? Now I say my folks were only 84 the year that they passed on. For a little while it seems you got time to choose your dreams. Pretty soon you look around and you see 100 years ain't what it used to be. And my grandpa Roy, when he was a boy in 1904, he was taught by men who fought in the actual Civil War. And only 8 decades passed and my high school class put the tassels on the other side. Started on our way full of naivete on the great American ride. The months and years slide past, each more quickly than the last. Pretty soon you look around and you'll see 100 years ain't what it used to be. Oh, Johnny!
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, Johnny, hey! Oh, yeah!
Did the guitar face.
Ibuprofen's under buy again in my online shopping cart. Every week I learn of something else I should be doing for my heart. If I use the wrong pillow, I might have trouble getting out of bed. My hair grows in my ears and nose now more than on my head. As a kid, to me, ancient history was something like World War I. But I arrived close to that time and this year as I sing this song. And I'm starting to find I can wrap my mind around life is brief and dear. I can hardly believe my baby girl's turned 26 this year. Oh, a little while it seems you got time to choose your dreams. Pretty soon you look around and you'll see everybody 100 years ain't what it used to be. Before you know it, you're 63, making plans for Medicare A and B. You look around yourself and you see 100 years ain't what it used to be.
Dalton.
How's he doing?
Rolling.
He's fine. He's sore as hell.
Josh Arnold, investment consultant, brings you Garage Logic Podcast number 1624. Oh,
Yeah, you got it. Thanks, Pat.
Royce, like gas attack. 2 in a row. September 22nd, 2025. 95 degrees, the record high on this day in 1936. Wow, it was 26 degrees on this day in 1974. And I'd like to inform you that we're about 46 minutes away from the official autumnal equinox, during which fall begins in the northern hemisphere.
So you abnormal people?
Yeah. Call Josh Arnold at 952-925-5608 for a free 48-minute consultation.
Hail the flashlight king.
And
And now, from the mayor's office above the boathouse on the east shore of Spoon Lake, it's Garage Logic with Chris Reavers manning Technology Corner, Kenny Olson from the Krabby Coffee Shop, John Haidt in the newsroom, and of course, the Rookie. Here is your flashlight king, fireworks commissioner, and the keeper of common sense, your mayor, Joe Souchere.
Something that the voters of this state can understand and appreciate are the leaves changing colors. And there's already been stories about that. We're predicting a good leaf peeping year.
Think so?
Yeah.
All right.
And that's what people get excited about.
Has anybody noticed the sumac being duller this year?
No, I like that. I've seen a nice red sumac.
Nice bright neon sumac.
Boy, I don't know what you've done with the cameras, but I'm looking good. I like this.
So is it true? Did you in fact have a nice fall?
Well, as a charter member of the Royal Order of 21sters, we've been gliding into this autumnal equinox since about June 22nd. We've had a good run. Winter has been mild for us so far, and we're 2.5 months out from the days getting longer. So we're good. The Royal Order of the 21sters are good. I'm surprised at how many converts I meet who realize the psychological benefits of pretending that winter is over on December 22nd. Mm-hmm. And it works for people.
There's psychological benefits, you think?
Yes, it's like
I don't think they're working for you. Sorry. Okay.
Oh, they work for me.
Thank you. I just set up that joke myself.
Hey,
it's like Gene Mock took a lot of vitamins, and I said to him one time, "Why do you take so many? Do they work?" And he said, "They work if you think they do."
Yep.
So there you have it. Say earthquake in San Francisco. Always an interesting note, given San Francisco's history. A 4.3 and aftershocks are taking place. Now, 4.3 is not terribly destructive, if destructive at all, but it's enough to notice the plates rattling and the dishes rattling, and that's what's been happening. So any day now, California will get an earthquake that breaks it off, and it'll sink into the Pacific Ocean. That's probably what will happen.
How violent do you think the rest of the continent will shake? Do you think we'll feel it?
No. You could lose your California and not even know it here. It just drops off. Yeah.
You, of course, being a geologist, I believe every word you say.
How is everybody?
You mind your own business.
Oh,
Just
God.
great.
You try to be nice to the guy and say something like, "How are you? Did you have a great weekend?" And he just gets sour. The Trumper, and I'm on his side here on this. Trump criticized. I did not see any of the Charlie Kirk funeral.
I saw some clips online, but I did not watch it.
I did see photographs and some clips on the news. You got to be a real twisted person to protest at a funeral.
You mean like the one woman who was holding a sign and shouting at a pregnant lady, "I hope your baby dies"? You mean someone deranged like that?
That's
Okay, that's fun.
That's very soulless, isn't it?
It sure is.
It really is. But Trump has criticized Representative Ilhan Omar and her native country of Somalia in the wake of a failed attempt by her colleagues to censure her this week. 4 Republicans joined Democrats Wednesday to table that censuring resolution, which would have removed her from committees. Representative Nancy Mace, Republican South Carolina, brought it forward because of an interview Omar did in response to conservative activist Charlie Kirk's assassination last week and posts she made on social media. Ilhan's now a 4-term congresswoman, and she said, "I have never supported political violence, and I've always spoken out against it. Attempts to twist my words into something that are deeply harmful, not to just me, but to our ability to have honest debates in Congress," she said in an email. Mr. Trump on Thursday said she is terrible and should be impeached. He also slammed Somalia, which Omar fled as a child before coming to the U.S. as a refugee. How are they doing? How's their government? This is Trump talking about Somalia. Do they have a president? Do they have a council? Council. Do they have anything? Do they have police? I love these people that come from a place with nothing. Nothing. No. And no anything. And then they tell us how to run our country. The president told reporters aboard Air Force One. I think if she got censured, that's great. If she got impeached, that's even better. Omar's office declined to comment on Mr. Trump's remarks. In one post, he said, "What scum we have in our country, telling us what to do and how to do it," after criticizing Somalia as a country plagued by poverty, civil war, and corruption. Jelani Hussein, executive director of the Council on American Islamic Relations in Minnesota, who himself emigrated to the U.S. from Somalia in the early 90s, said many Somali Minnesotans supported Trump this past election. The president won 12% of the vote in Minneapolis, but nearly doubled that figure in some heavily East African precincts, according to an analysis by the Star Tribune. Hussein called Trump's remarks a political statement, but said they've also caused alarm. Anytime something like this happens, Jelani Hussein, I've learned what Trump does. He likes to kill these 10-minute spots on Air Force One, and I think Kenny's theory is right. He says to the reporters, "Hey, you want to light them up? Come here, I got a few remarks for you." Hussein called Mr. Trump's remarks a political statement, but said they've also caused alarm. Anytime something like this happens, we as a community are on guard. Okay. Omar faced threats. Oh, she's always crying about the threats she faces.
Would you like to hear from her?
Just a moment.
Oh. Thought you were done. I'm sorry.
Anything can happen anytime. That's why it's important that those around Trump should remind him that we are in a moment where we just lost a political figure like Kirk. We can't be in this moment of continuous contention that arises to a point where individuals may kill, Hussein said. So really what I think we see here is an extraction of Omar's remarks, and the likes of Jelani Hussein are trying to make it analogous to Kirk's killing. I don't see it. I don't see that. I don't see the connection.
What about, how do you feel about the efforts to censure her and remove her from committees?
I would, and let me explain why in a moment, but first let's hear from her.
For me, is I feel embarrassed for him because in these attacks, what he does, and I think...
Wait, stop. I'm sorry.
Trump.
Is she talking about Trump?
Yes.
Okay, start over.
This
I'm
is
sorry.
on MSNBC over the weekend.
I'm sorry.
For me, is I feel embarrassed for him because in these attacks, what he does, and I think with the likes of Nancy Mace and whoever that Randy guy is, they expose themselves for how stupid they are. And that is embarrassing for us as a country because these are people who are elected to positions of leadership. He's supposed to be the president of the United States, who's heading off to Europe to represent us. When he does, he's uneducated enough to understand that members of Congress can't be impeached. You know, when you have Nancy and Randy saying, you know, we're on it, we're going to impeach her. When they're saying they're going to deport me, knowing full well that you cannot deport an American citizen. What that displays for not just Americans, but folks on an international platform is that our country is being led by idiots. And that is not something that we should be comfortable with as Americans. And that's not something that should make us proud. And so in this moment, I feel great sadness as an American that these are the kind of people that the world gets to see representing us. So
I don't believe she feels great sadness about anything.
Nope.
The problem I have with her is... I wish I could talk to her. Obviously, she's never going to come on this show. But what I would like to ask her is, do you like anything about this country? Do you have any joy at all about being an American? Is there anything at all that you love?
What is it? Yeah, exactly.
You have been disgruntled your whole life, your whole public life. Is there anything at all that you could offer the citizenry as an example of your fondness, just for what's happened to you in your own life? You came from nothing, and you're now a United States Congresswoman. and somehow you're also worth a lot of money. Is there anything you're happy about? And I don't know what her answer would be.
Well, it's to me, it seems like she never ran for office to preserve our way of life. She ran for office to change the country, and that's what she continues to do. So you're right. Everything she says and does seems, to those of us that love the country, anti-American. So I can see how you feel that way. That's how I feel.
Does she love anything about Minneapolis, where I'm gathering she spends the least amount of time possible?
It would be a lot of fun, instead of in an interview situation, to talk to her one-on-one with no cameras or recording devices. It'd be really interesting to hear what she had to say in private.
And if she was strip searched, not by me.
Hey, now.
No, I don't mean strip searched. I'm sorry, that was wrong. I mean patted down for bugs or recording devices.
Oh, okay.
Do you think that statement we just listened to was just a diversion tactic to take away what the real issue was with her?
No, I think she's genuinely finds Trump reprehensible.
But she could have said that anytime.
Right.
She's just reiterating what she's always said about him. And it seemed to me like a diversion tactic.
And Trump being in office is one of the best things that could have happened for her. You know what I'm saying?
That's that old Rush Limbaugh theory. Yeah, you're right. But, Joe, you didn't answer my earlier question. Do you think that she should have been censured or removed from those committees, and why?
Well,
what good does it do?
No, I don't think she should be censured because she chose not to be a Charlie Kirk fan. She has every right in the world to not be a Charlie Kirk fan.
Fair.
So that's I would heavily or intensely or significantly question her membership on committees based on her disdain for us, her disdain for the country.
You never get that to pass.
She has admitted that she wants to use her office to the benefit of Somalia.
Yeah.
Somalia, what benefit, Ilhan?
That is public record. Yes.
There is no government there. There is no order. There is no civil discourse. It's danger. What do you wish to do for Somalia, Ilhan?
Is it Somalia or the Somalian people here in the United States?
No, Somalia. She said the country Somalia. And there's all kinds of information coming out now, none of which I've been able to verify, so it's probably not even worth mentioning, but that her father was somehow involved in a very prominent military role in Somalia. I don't know if that has anything to do with anything, and I haven't been able. I'll drop it because I have nothing to back that up, and I don't even know if that would prove to be important in the long run. What I'm more concerned about is I feel kind of greasy that I'm part of Minnesota and part of the Twin Cities, that we're represented by this person who has zero interest in the people she represents. Zero interest in the 5th District. Zero interest in Minneapolis.
It appears that way. So.
Zero interest in understanding Minnesota. Zero interest in understanding an American way of life. She is a leading soldier for the mystery. She is a wonderful, wonderful tool of the mystery, which is to bring about a country that we don't recognize. And a lot of people are saying, not just podcast hosts, a lot of people are saying Minnesota is no longer a state they recognize. Huh. And she's had a role in that, a significant role. So is the fraud, and so is a bad governor, and so has the blowing of the surplus, and on and on and on and on. But it is impossible for any of us to have anything in common with her, to my knowledge.
She represents, we always just say the 5th, but we never define it. It's the heart of the Minneapolis side of the river, from Spring Lake Park down to Richfield, west side Golden Valley, east side Falcon Heights. I mean, all of downtown Minneapolis, all of Lake Street. I don't remember her offering any kind of assistance, help, or advice on the problem with the homeless camp shootings on Lake Street. Do you?
Well, of course not.
All of the north side. She represents all of North Minneapolis on both sides of 94. I don't remember ever hearing her say anything about the violence over north.
And why do you voters favor her? What do you see in this, unless you are proponents of the mystery? Because she is a wonderful representative of the mystery. You couldn't create a better representative of the mystery. She checks every Mysterian box you can come up with. Woman of color, Muslim, immigrant, doesn't like the country. It was founded poorly. Trump is correct in the sense that she loves to spend her time telling us why we're so foul. You know what? I got nothing against her. Except what I'm saying. I don't wish her ill, but I'd love to talk to her meaningfully. It's another aspect of her life that intrigues me. I don't believe anyone's ever been able to talk to her meaningfully. If she senses a conversation going in a direction she doesn't like, she has a number of cards she plays. Well, you're racist, you're misogynist, you're this,
she gets
you're
your
that.
wall up.
You can't get anywhere with her because she's going to control the narrative, and the narrative is the mystery. And I'm opposed to the mystery, so therefore I'm opposed to Ilhan Omar.
Racist.
Thank you.
Islamophobe.
And there's where she'd go.
Yes, yes.
What do you want, Chris? You want me to tell you about some emails I got?
Yeah.
Well, I got one right.
Yeah,
Let's
Ray.
see. What did I write down? Yeah.
You got her.
John Monge writes, I had Patrick at the house today, not Royce. Precision Doors, Patrick.
Okay.
And he did a great job for us, replaced the rollers and turned them up. No, he tuned them up. GL sponsors are the best companies to work with, signed the mayor, Mayor John Monge. He must be a real mayor somewhere. But thank you, John. I know that you've had a great experience with Precision Door. If you need a new door, they have models for every budget. They send out a designer free of charge. It sounds like Mr. Monge took advantage of the Noisy Door tune-up special. That's $149. That's a $300 value. The special includes a 25-point safety inspection and diagnostic, full garage door tune-up, rollers replaced with ultra-quiet rollers, and get it done now while the weather's in your favor. You don't want to walk out there in the dead of winter and have that garage door not work, and annual maintenance is the answer. You can book online at Precision Door MN. That's one word. PrecisionDoorMN.com, or call Precision Door at 612-263-6985 to schedule your free on-site new door estimate or the Noisy Door tune-up special from Precision Door.
Hail the flashlight king.
The earth is not your mother. The Joe Souchere Show.
Speaking of my mother, had a very important talk with Mom yesterday. It was actually about Seafoam. We got to talking about garage doors when I told her I had spent about 3 hours coaxing mine out of semi-retirement. And we both discussed about how the final step, and she's doing it to hers, was hitting the rollers with Seafoam Deep Creep and how it works better than any other ridiculous products on the shelf. So I turned her off that junk and onto Deep Creep. Then, I don't know if I should have done this. I asked her if I had ever told her about Bugs Be Gone. She goes, no, she's used it. She loves it. But no, I didn't tell her. A friend of your sister told me.
Ooh.
But that friend of my sister heard it on Garage Logic.
Yeah.
So in a way, I told my mom, right? I'm off the hook.
Yes.
Anyway, the point of all this is Bugs Be Gone. GLers, tell your parents, your grandparents, siblings, all the offspring thereof. Tell them about the amazing Bugs Be Gone. Spread the word. Give it out as Christmas gifts. It really makes cleaning bugs and other organic yuck easy and fun, and I actually look forward to getting bugs on my window now so I can watch them slide down the glass. It's that easy. You can find it wherever fine automotive chemicals are sold. It's just another wonderful tool from Seafoam.
I can't help but wonder, and it's unlikely, but Ilhan has enriched herself tremendously, according to various reports.
Mm-hmm.
Is worth as much as $30 million with her husband.
Right.
I can't help but wonder: could she possibly be involved in the local fraud? It's pretty fraudy around here.
Yes.
And we're going to find out. I'm confident we're going to find out.
And there have been a number of alleged connections between those holding office and those that have been part of the fraud program.
Because it is exclusively, well, I would say 99 and 9/10% exclusively fraud committed by the Somalis.
Yep.
And she obviously is aware of that, has never commented on it. Is anyone aware of any comment by her?
No.
In fact, would you double check me?
I will look for that.
I don't want to be
Good
unfair.
luck with searching up Ilhan Omar, fraud, Rook.
No.
Right.
Has Ilhan Omar ever commented on Minnesota fraud? Just type that in your Google thing. It turns out the Star Tribune over the weekend, yesterday, had a piece on the front page. Kudos to them. Who wrote it? I feel that they've been dragged into covering this reluctantly. I think they are a house organ for walls, but they're still enough of a newspaper that they realize that they can't ignore this. And they have a reporter named Allison Kite, with whom I am unfamiliar. But she did a good job digging into the fact that the Department of Human Services was told of the Housing Stabilization Services fraud 2 years ago and did absolutely nothing.
Ilhan Omar has condemned the fraud in Minnesota's Feeding Our Future program, calling the theft of funds abhorrent in February of 22, shortly after the scandal.
February of 2022?
Yeah. Shortly after the scandal became public, she sent a letter to U.S. Secretary of Agriculture asking for more info on the government's effort to investigate and prevent further fraud.
Well,
But
that
wait,
hasn't happened.
This is only half of the statement. Read on, Matthew.
She has expressed her outrage over the crimes, calling the use of child nutrition program to funnel millions of dollars toward extravagant expenses is abhorrent. She wrote to the U.S. Secretary Tom Vilsack to request action and wanted to find out what they're doing about the fraud. To recoup the misused money and ensure the funds were returned to the communities affected.
You don't have the same version I have.
What do
Let
you
me
got?
read
Lay it on.
my version. After the first paragraph, Matt read, then this comes up then. Campaign donations. Two men named in search warrants related to the investigation had previously donated to Omar's 2021 campaign. Her office stated that the campaign donated the contributions to local food shelves out of an abundance of caution. Video evidence. During one of the trials, a video of Omar handing out food with a defendant was introduced as evidence. A spokesperson for Omar stated that she was unaware of any wrongdoing and that the use of the footage was inappropriate.
Do you have a date on what you're reading?
No, not. This is AI nonsense, so, grain of salt. But then it goes on to talk about her husband's businesses and the financial claims and wrongdoing he did.
Okay, go back to what Rook said, just the first sentence again, Rook. No, you don't even need that. She wrote a letter to Vilsack.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
22.
Yeah, well, it's 3 years later. The fraud has only increased. So her power or the weight of her congressional position has done nothing to prevent the fraud. Nothing.
After it was revealed that 2 individuals named in the fraud investigation had donated to her campaign, the campaign gave the contributions to local food shelves as a precautionary measure.
2 years before the U.S. Department of Justice indicted Christopher and Emmanuel Falade for allegedly defrauding the state, the Minnesota Department of Human Services was warned that company, Falade, was engaged in potentially fraudulent activities. The Falades were 2 of 8 indicted just at the end of last week. The warnings, of course, went unheeded. I'm reading Bill Glahn, who is crediting the Star Tribune. He condenses this. This is from the American Experiment. The Minnesota Department of Human Services never investigated the complaint, referring it instead to an outside Medicaid administrator. Now, let's go back to the Star Tribune. Who initiated the complaint? Who initiated the complaint? 2 years before the U.S. Department of Justice indicted Falade for allegedly defrauding this. Okay. Here it is. An unidentified caseworker notified the state in September of 2023, that's 2 years ago,
Okay.
that Falade Care LLC was falsifying timesheets to receive payments through Minnesota's Housing Stabilization Services program. The caseworker also claimed the company was evasive and non-responsive to questions. These suspicious actions, poor communication, and lack of transparency make us suspect Falade Care may be engaging in fraudulent billing practices, the complaint said. The Department of Human Services, at that time I believe under the direction of Jody Harpstead, who has conveniently enough left,
Gone,
and been replaced by Shireen Gandhi, the Department of Human Services never investigated the complaint. The DHS continued making payments to Falade Care for nearly 2 more years, shutting them off only after the FBI searched the company's offices in July. Federal prosecutors indicted the Falades fraud charges for allegedly billing more than $2.2 million in services through the program. State data shows the company received more than $700,000 last year after the DHS was made aware of the fraud allegations. The Falades attorney would not return a call asking for comment. The 2023 complaint highlights the Walz administration's sluggish response to allegations of fraud in a state program that ballooned well beyond what it was projected to cost when it was created in 2020. And it was created because we just create too many government programs. It was created ostensibly to provide some financial relief to people with disabilities in their housing conditions. In other words, if you're in a wheelchair and you're having there was a department you could call at the state to say, I need help. My running water is leaking, and presumably the state would send out a plumber, or the state would say, we have with us registered an outfit that takes care of things like this. Please call Falade Care. They're employed by the state. We're a contractual relationship with them, and they'll come and and fix your leaky faucet, only to discover that Flawed Care and hundreds of other fake companies didn't do that, but routinely billed for hefty amounts, which the Department of Human Services paid even after knowing they were fraudulent. Okay, we are entirely justified in wondering how high this goes. We are entirely justified. And could it be that Walz is running so he can keep his finger on this?
That could be. I didn't think about that.
The DHS continued making payments to Flawed Care for nearly 2 more years, shutting them off after the FBI did it. Okay. The Minnesota Star Tribune discovered the tip in a trove of documents released by DHS in response to an open records request. The findings conflict with DHS Temporary Commissioner Shireen Gandhi's statement to lawmakers this week that the department had received only vague, credible allegations of fraud. So the Star Tribune, thank you, is suggesting that Shireen Gandhi is obfuscating. She took over for Jody Harpstead. And then Bill Glahn writes, I want to praise the Star Tribune for digging into this, but what took them so long? Well, I would say the same thing. They've been dragged into this reluctantly. The industrial-scale fraud perpetrated against taxpayer-funded programs has been obvious to all sentient observers going back at least a decade. As for HHS, the Star Tribune notes, as allegations of fraud in housing stabilization services snowballed, the state cut off payments to 115 providers that had billed for a total of $100 million. And that disabled apartment dweller or whatever, they weren't getting any help. They weren't getting any help. In January 2025, in a Senate hearing of January, 10 months after Hennepin County sent its first written warning, then Commissioner Jody Harpstead told lawmakers there's a lot of rumors of fraud more than there is actual fraud. Well, Jody then suddenly caught a squall, her spinnaker filled full of wind, and she just sailed off and disappeared. So we have
My job is done.
We have no idea where she is.
You think she bought an island somewhere?
I don't know. I don't know. If you watch this week's Joe Thompson press conference, he makes clear that not only individual welfare programs like housing stabilization services are overrun by fraud, but that entire classes of government programs are rife with fraud and under the nose of the Walz-Ellison state government. How high does this go?
If this was private industry, Joe, he would have been gone years ago.
Oh, of course.
Years ago.
In March of 2025, Bill Glahn testified in person for nearly 2 hours in a state house hearing on fraud in Minnesota's government. At that time, the official position of committee Democrats who ran that program said there was no fraud, that I'd made it all up for some alleged partisan gain. The fallback position was that maybe there have been some fraud back in COVID days, but no longer. Now, just 6 months later, the official position of the state Democratic Party is that it's the Democrats fighting against massive fraud while opposed by the state Republicans. Not even the Star Tribune can buy that one. We have no idea how thoroughly mangled is the financial health of this state. We have no idea. This gets more real and more intense every day, and maybe this is, yes?
I was going to say, Thompson's quote last week about the tip of the iceberg is what should alarm absolutely every single taxpayer in this state, because even he doesn't know.
You know, you can bring about the mystery, I guess, state by state, You could certainly help bring about the mystery by completely destroying the economy of this state.
Mm-hmm. And they've done that.
They've blown an $18 billion surplus, then raised taxes.
Yep. That all went to programs just like this.
They have denied fraud that is undeniable. No, it is undeniable.
How big are we?
No Walls employee has suffered a consequence. From the lowest level clerk to an agency head, with the exception...
I was going to say, didn't we have one?
Well, with the exception of this fellow Grumdahl, Eric Grumdahl, who was fired last week, the day before Health and Human Services was scheduled to be grilled by the fraud committee of the Minnesota legislature.
Do you think he was fired because he perhaps might have been a whistleblower?
That's a possibility. Perhaps he was fired because they feared he was going to tell the truth.
You can't do that, though. That's illegal.
No, I say fired. I should say fired or left on his own. That has remained unclear, but the initial report said he was fired.
He can still testify, though, can't he?
As a civilian now, I'm not sure he has any obligation to.
Well, if there's fraud within the state,
I'm just telling you what I know.
How bad is it that we don't really miss $100 million? It's just a drop
No, we
in the
do,
bucket.
and you will miss it every time you have to sit down and do your taxes. You will miss it. $100 million. That's just for HSS. We're over $1 billion on food fraud, and it's every agency. It's autism. It's Medicaid. It's daycare. It's everything. That's Thompson's words, not mine.
Right.
It's everything.
Tip of the iceberg.
Now, Ilhan, where are you on this? 2 years ago, you said something. You've accomplished nothing. You've brought no light to this. The power of your office apparently has not been used to be helpful. What have you done? How do you account for yourself? What do you have to say about this?
Why don't you do something to help us?
Well, she's never going to be accountable to the people in this state like us who want some answers. She never will be. Why did you vote for her? Well,
I didn't.
Go back to something.
Yeah, Chris.
You vote for these people either because you're stupid beyond comprehension or you're getting something.
And in that district, it's probably a combination of both.
I did find a recent statement from her, and you guys will all remember this when I just read the headline. Ilhan Omar condemns the Minnesota State DFL for overturning the fraudulent endorsement of Omar Fateh.
Yeah. There's some fraud she can really get behind.
That was August 23rd of this year.
Isn't that something?
That's right.
Yeah,
I do remember that.
She's more concerned about Omar Fateh becoming mayor than she is about the taxpayers of this state getting fleeced.
Which should tell you everything. That's all she cares about.
Folks, we're in a big, big, bad movie here, and it's not getting bad. The ending's not going to be pretty.
Yeah, and as far as the Twin Cities goes, the outstate will follow. I mean, they're voting for us, folks. So that's why it matters to those of us living out here.
Yeah, this movie's so bad, I bet the dog dies at the end. That's how bad this movie is.
You got that right. Well, it's probably a good time to remind you about Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
Let's do this.
Well, in addition to having a business-friendly tax environment with no fraud that I'm aware of.
I haven't heard of any fraud.
No personal or corporate state income taxes. Sioux Falls is growing. It has a large, well-educated workforce. The cost of living is low, certainly lower than here, and with a central location and developed industrial parks. So is your cost of doing business. Contact the Sioux Falls Development Foundation. They have the resources you need. You can stop searching for a perfect business site and start growing in Sioux Falls. Rated the best small city for business and careers in the country by Forbes magazine. No state, corporate, or personal income tax, no inheritance tax, no limits to what your business can achieve. They enjoy the presence of entrepreneurs. Find out everything you need to know at Sioux Falls Development, one word, SiouxFallsDevelopment.com.
It's the end of the world as we know it, and he feels fine. Joe Souchere.
Confession time.
Uh-oh.
Got to make a stop for a payment at North American Banking
You've been red
Company.
flagged. Bilski doesn't let you go over. He's like the
Sends me a
government.
text like, dummy, you got to get in here. Oh, that's right. I forgot to do that last
yeah.
week. So anywho, that's where I'm going today. Where should I go? Should I go to Hastings again?
Where's the closest one to this office?
Roseville, but the problem is it's in the opposite direction of the way I need to go.
Yeah.
So I might go to 50th in France. I don't know.
They got Woodbury
That's
too,
never
don't they?
stopped you before, Chris.
That's a good point. Maybe I should find the farthest one away from my
Yeah.
house and do that. And which would probably be Maple Grove. I do like the Hastings location, though. Here's the deal, ladies and gentlemen. If you're tired of being a number to your big national bank, then check out my friends at North American Banking Company, because they have one simple philosophy, and they've had that philosophy since 1998, and that's this. It's banking done differently. And you do get that feeling anytime that you walk into any one of their 6 Twin Cities locations, whether it's Roseville, 50th in France, Hastings, Woodbury, Shoreview, or Maple Grove. They offer all of the services as the other big national banks, whether you're looking to buy a home, finance a new home renovation project, or perhaps get that new car that you've been dreaming about. My friends at North American Banking Company are going to be able to help you out.
I think the Woodbury location looks like what a bank should look like.
They're beautiful buildings.
Yeah,
they
they're
really
neat.
are.
Woodbury looks cool.
NABankco.com to learn more. Once again, it's banking done differently. North American Banking Company, member FDIC, is an equal housing lender.
Here's John Haidt.
Thank you, Joe. This news brought to you by North American Banking Company. Starting tonight, Metro Transit will fully close its Blue Line rail service for the first time. The closure will last 2 weeks from September 22nd until October 4th, and it'll allow crews to replace parts of the track. Starting at 10 tonight, Blue Line trains will stop, be replaced by buses. While the bus service will ensure rides for commuters who rely on the route, the trips will take about twice as long. A normal ride on the train from stop to stop usually takes about 40 minutes. That will jump to about 81 minutes now on buses.
What? 81 minutes?
81 minutes, according to their
From where to
online
where?
schedule.
From where to where?
From stop to stop. So that's an average of where the stops happen on the Blue Line. So
This is a nightmare for
No, but
anybody
it's
that
not.
works at the
no,
airport.
no. It's not 81 minutes from stop to stop. It's got to be 81 minutes from some point to the end point.
Yeah.
I took it as an average, depending on where you're going and where you start from.
Oh.
For God's
I
sake, you
don't
can get to
know.
Duluth damn near.
No,
in
I
81
can. No,
minutes.
let's wrap it up here. From the Mall of America to downtown, it's probably 81 minutes.
It's 12 days that this will happen. Phase 1 of a 3-year, $80 million track and signals project. Work in this phase focuses on track replacement in the entire Blue Line corridor, as well as track switches in the Cedar Riverside area. Officials say the work will extend the life of the rail and switches, and riders should notice a smoother ride once service resumes.
Buy more cars.
right.
So it's going to affect the 9 people that were using the light rail.
I was going to say, who's inconvenienced by this?
That's why it's called light rail, because nobody's on it. Hey, everybody.
Minnesota State Patrol, a horrible story here, said a 1-year-old boy was killed Saturday night in a single vehicle rollover crash near Maplewood. According to the Minnesota State Patrol, a Chevy Tahoe with 5 occupants, 3 of whom were children, traveling east on Highway 36 to southbound Highway 61. While driving, the car appeared to lose control on the exit ramp while traveling at a high rate of speed and went off the roadway. The vehicle rode into a ditch on the ramp, landed upside down, submerging the vehicle in 1 to 2 feet of water. The remaining occupants of the car, besides the 1-year-old, were taken to the hospital to be treated for non-life-threatening injuries, including a 6-year-old boy, a 5-year-old boy, a 32-year-old man, and the driver of the vehicle. The driver of the vehicle, identified by the State Patrol as 28-year-old Rochelle Peliquin, who the State Patrol said had alcohol in her system during the crash. She was arrested for criminal vehicular homicide, has not yet been formally charged. She is currently at the Ramsey County Jail.
I hope she never, ever leaves there.
That's not a tough clover leaf at 36.
It's a sweeper.
61.
It is if you're hammered.
Well, okay. And you're
I'm wondering if she did something and lost it and backed it into that pond, because there's a tiny little pond on the right side right before you merge in with southbound 61. She had to back it in there.
Not that it matters, Johnny, but did the child die as a result of the accident, or
Yeah,
did the
on
child
scene.
drown?
No, we don't know that, but she was dead upon arrival
Okay. Oh,
when rescuers got there.
One of the 7 people shot in that Minneapolis homeless encampment shooting earlier last week has died, according to officials. Minneapolis police said that 30-year-old Jacinda Oakgrove died at the hospital late last week. The shooting, remember we talked about this when it happened, obviously, happened last Monday. Law enforcement says a man was arrested on Thursday for potential aiding and abetting after the fact, but has since been released. Investigators say they're continuing to work on what led up to the shooting. Anyone with info should email police tips at minneapolisminnesota.government. That'd be minneapolismn.government, or call police. The police noted it's unknown if the shooting's related to one that injured 5 people near Lake Street and Stevens earlier on that Monday.
I refuse to call these homeless camps. They're open-air drug markets. I have a letter from a woman who I know named Elizabeth, and she said, I definitely agree with you that it's not a housing issue, but an addiction issue. I also agree that some may not want to get sober, but I'd like to provide more insight on the why, at the risk of writing an awkward sentence, because on account of what they're going to do then. We are a middle-class family living in the suburbs, and my son got hooked on fentanyl. Making a very long story short, by the grace of God, we have made it through 2 overdoses, 4 inpatient treatment centers in 3 different states, 5 outpatient treatment centers, 6 sober living homes, and thousands of dollars spent on trying to save his life. We are an intact family of faith who had insurance and an amazing support system. We are the lucky ones, and he has been off it for more than 2.5 years. But we've learned a lot, and what we've learned is that addiction and recovery is a business. Just like everything else, families trying to get their loved ones help are desperate, and especially when you don't have a lot of money, you will look for the least expensive option. Unfortunately, there are plenty of scoundrels out there that are more than happy to prey upon the desperate and take what little money they have and make matters worse. I bring this up because the addicted homeless in these encampments, even if given the opportunity to get sober, are likely overwhelmed with what would happen afterwards. Many of them don't have a support system. They may have burned bridges, or they simply don't have anyone left. The government has Rule 25, which would pay for treatment, but those treatment centers are often filled with court-ordered criminals who don't want to be there and can do more harm than good. Even if there is success, statistics show that a 30-day program is not enough. If there isn't aftercare, such as outpatient treatment and a safe, sober living environment, the likelihood of long-term success is extremely low. Fry, Sabri, Fateh, and the like can all bicker about where they want to put the homeless. But the reality is, if they're not willing to create a program where people serious about sobriety can go for a year or more, live in a basic but clean environment, contribute to society, and begin to gain some self-respect, it's going to be a vicious cycle. God knows we have enough money in this state to make it happen. Good luck, Elizabeth. That's as well stated as I've ever heard it. These are not homeless camps. These are open-air drug markets, and these people are addicts.
That was an eye-opener. Wow.
If I may enter the conversation at this point, because I'm very close to this at the moment, my son, who you all know, works as a peer resource supervisor counselor.
Mm-hmm.
That's part of what happens once you go through treatment. And his job partially is to help these people get back to a normal life.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the two companies he's worked for so far have closed down and had lots of money taken away out of budgets in the last 6 months. Part of that comes from the big, beautiful bill, $11 billion taken away from that. And the bill they're proposing for next year, taking away $3 billion at this point for the same thing. So he's had his hours cut from 40 to 20 because these companies no longer have the money to deal with what they're supposed to be dealing with and have closed down operations. Some of these, like the company he's working for, had several buildings that they use as outpatient, etc. They've already had to close those. So there is no outpatient treatment anymore for those people who go through treatment. They get done, see ya. Guess where they are? Out on the street.
Well, it sounds like what's needed is the wisdom of Solomon here and a wholesale new invention of how to go after this.
It's funny how John was talking about money and the elimination of money. I couldn't help but think about the billions of dollars wasted on fraud and wasted the excess money we had that was not wasted on fraud, but was frivolously thrown away by the Democrats in charge.
It's a drug problem. We know that. It's not a homeless problem.
What Elizabeth said about, I wrote it down, facing the possibility of facing life after getting sober and how complicated and how almost impossible that life seems is what's keeping a lot of these folks, keeping them wasted and high every day.
Well, and I talked with you, Kenny, about this last week. Dylan says a good number of those people have no idea how to work on life itself. Just the stuff you and I do daily, just to get our license, to get whatever, just normal life. And part of the job of the peer resource counselor is to help them with that and get them adjusted to being able to do that as adults. But, it's where it's at.
To further drive all of this home, I'm reading a piece in the Star Tribune talking about shelters and homeless and the camps. And on any given night in the county, at least 400 people do not have a bed to lay in. They use the term unsheltered, unhoused, whatever. But over the past month, there have been many nights with no shelter beds available at all. And after that big shooting on Lake Street, those beds filled up right away. All available beds filled up right away.
In other news, this is a sad media note. A lot of us probably have met this fella and know him. Stan Turner passed away.
You're kidding me?
Yeah, after a fight with cancer.
Young guy.
He was 81, Joe.
Oh.
He died September 21st.
Stan Turner was 81?
He's a young 81.
He looked like he was about 50.
Yeah.
Stan was best known for his 35 years at Hubbard Broadcasting, including Capitol reporter, news director, and weeknight and weekend anchor. He was also the primetime anchor for Hubbard's All News channel for over 10 years. He later was news director of the Minnesota News Network and a host on KLBB Radio during multiple shows, including a music request show and a popular talk show.
Where I got my start, Club 14, baby.
There you go.
Yep.
I did not know this.
A lot of good it did you.
Yeah, I know.
I saw that our Tom Hauser posted on Facebook. Stan was basically his mentor with Hubbard, and because Stan was covering the Capitol at that point and an anchor, and helped Tom get into it. So,
What year did he retire?
Well, he kept doing other jobs. He had some other smaller radio, but I can tell you the fact that when I started in November of 90 as a news dispatcher, when he was still pretty big, he was good to the help in the hallways and stuff like that. You know, you can get anchors that are pretty high and mighty, but he was good to the low people that were sleeping on the job when they came in after their birthday.
Joe, what do you picture when you see your main man to the right there, Rook on
I
the
don't
news
even. I
desk?
don't even want to think about it.
With a pillow. I brought a pillow in after going to the
Measuring his
Gobies,
head.
and Zipco comes in and goes, "What the hell's the matter with you guys?" My shift started at 7 a.m. and I was out of it. And he
I
said,
see
"Get
a-
that pillow out of here."
See a big stack of Archie and Jughead comics.
a couple of concert announcements this morning were announced. WeFest getting a jump on next year. They announced their new lineup for next year today. Two newer stars, Lady Wilson and Thomas Rhett, will be headliners along with retirement-bound Brooks and Dunn. The festival happens August 6th through the 8th at Sioux Pass Ranch, as usual, in
Brooks
Detroit
and
Lakes.
Dunn are playing WeFest?
That's correct, sir.
There's going to be 10 million people
There
going
will
to
be,
that
yes.
thing.
So you got those three, and then you also have Little Big Town, Jamie Johnson, Flatland Calvary, Nate Smith, Max McNown, and others. Tickets, now this is next August. Tickets go on sale tomorrow at 9 a.m.
Any word on
WeFest.
Farm Aid? Anybody go? Staff?
I
Anyone?
had the opportunity,
Anyone?
but
Did not.
declined.
Let's see.
But I
Only
heard-
friends.
but everybody was saying that the sets were very, very short.
I talked
course,
to
yeah.
some people whose friends went, and they were very worried that Willie Nelson would just die on stage
I would like a report on Willie
because he was so old. He
Yeah.
looked frail and old, and
Willie
he
and
is
Dylan.
old. He is old.
I'd want a report
Well,
on those
Breen
two.
posted a clip of him. What's the song he always opens with?
You're
Whiskey River?
always on
Whiskey
my
River.
mind.
Yeah, he
Whiskey River.
posted a clip of that. I thought it looked pretty cool.
Yeah, I saw two clips. He looked fine. I don't know.
well,
Well,
whatever.
he is old,
He is.
Yeah, he's 92 years
and he's
old.
still performing.
And Target Field announcing a concert for next summer. My Chemical Romance will be there August 24th.
BFD.
That was one of Dill's favorite bands for a
Well,
long
that
time.
shows you why he's doing what he's doing.
Yeah, because helping people's bad. So,
No, helping people
you know
is
what?
great.
I'm not even reading the rest of the story. Let's take a break. here to
John,
hear
My
from-
Chemical Romance ain't going to sell out anywhere.
it's Target Field. It'll be fun.
Is it one of those after a ball game concerts,
Yeah,
Johnny?
I'm sure. I have no idea.
Well, there'll be
I don't
seating
know.
available if it's after a ball game.
Did you see the
I
crowd
couldn't name a
yesterday?
tune that they've done. I suppose I should.
Oh, there was one great album. The rest was just kind of there. Kenny, would you please do something now?
I'm actually here to help, and I'm really, really eager to talk about this. So you guys go ahead, turn your microphones off, argue amongst yourselves.
Okay.
Because I want to talk to GLers. Hey, hang that weed whipper, you know, that one that's always leaning against the beer fridge there in the garage. Hang that on a gator hook. If you're tired of cluttered garages, messy sheds, tools all over you can never find, you need gator hooks. Now, if you're a little weird about it, like I am, and everything has to be in its place and you like things looking tidy, well, you really need gator hooks. Say goodbye to the screws, the pegboards, all those holes in your walls. Say hello to GatorMagnetics.com. These Gator Magnetics, the hooks and the baskets, they're going to change the way you do storage. They hold up to 45 pounds, perfect for absolutely everywhere. Gator Magnetics has come up with a perfect kit for GLers. You're saying, wait a minute. No, wait, dum-dum. I have sheetrock. It doesn't matter. The Garage Logic Gator wall bundle system has a 46-inch by 16-inch wall panel kit with thin steel panels and hooks for just $204. That's with using the code GL20. perfect for anywhere, including your workbench or garage wall. I got the kit. I used GL20 last week, and I'm definitely going to be getting more. They really changed the way I do business in my shop. Get your Garage Logic wall bundle system from Gator Magnetics. Go to GatorMagnetics.com. Click on the Garage Logic tab. It's just $204. Be sure to use the GL20 code at checkout. GatorMagnetics.com. Click on Garage Logic and take control of your space today.
Here's a man who spends hours in hardware stores, sifting through the nuts and bolts of life. Joe Souchere.
Reavers here once again for my friends at Awaken 180 Weight Loss. You know what? What are we at now? Like almost 2 weeks now I've been on the program, and it's been great. Just from an energy standpoint alone, I can feel a great difference. And it's a program that's also built for anyone looking to lose weight. Here's the key, though. There are no medications. There's no workouts required. There's also no fasting involved. It's eating to lose weight with a solution that has worked for over 800,000 people. That's right. 800,000 people have found this program to work for them. It's clear daily planning. There's no complicated tracking or counting. It's one-on-one weekly coaching. My gal is Emma. She's fantastic, and she holds me accountable and also has adjustments for me each and every week. And that coach is going to stay with you for the long haul, by the way. Also there to help you pick out restaurant menu items. You can still go out. You can still go on vacation. You can still tailgate. You can even have a few drinks. It's Awaken180weightloss.com. Awaken180weightloss.com, or for that consultation, call them directly at 844-346-1800. And please do me a favor and mention that you heard about them on the Garage Logic podcast.
John, I think I have something that's news related.
Yes.
We have an emergency. The GLer of the week last week was Victoria Samuelson.
Yeah.
Okay.
In Two Harbors. She doesn't live there anymore.
Whoops.
That explains the undisturbed
She said, I
syrup
was
on the
making
front store.
dinner. I was making dinner for my family this evening, and listening to the podcast, I was surprised and delighted to hear my name announced as GLer of the week. Thank you so much. There is a problem. We moved to Matamidi last summer from Two Harbors. Sure, I forgot to change my address on my town council account. If you haven't already sent it to the old one, would you please send it to my new address, which she provides, and you better get that to the powers that be.
What we could do then is assure Victoria that the people that bought your home are going to get
the
a nice
syrup.
surprise.
Right. Thanks for the housewarming gift. What a great.
In fact, if Victoria was smart, that's what she'd say. By the way, did you get our housewarming gift?
Yep.
Reporting isn't what it used to be. You're ignoring the most logical and glaring question here.
What's that?
What's that?
From Two Harbors to Matamidi?
Yeah.
That seems like a backwards move to me.
Well, that's
you'd be
because
going the other way.
you're a country sort. She wanted to come back to where there's people.
I love Two Harbors.
Yeah, it's the best. I would never leave.
Well, maybe they had reasons. Okay,
January can be be a little rough in 2 Harbors.
well,
That's
it's
all
rough
right. You
here
follow
too.
the lighthouse. You'll be
That's
all right.
like the guy I talked to panhandling. He said, I said, where are you from? He said, well, I moved down here from Duluth. I said, oh, yeah, why? He said, for the climate.
Hey now.
Well, have you seen? I don't mean to go off on a tangent here, but do you know how easy winters are in Iowa? Oh my God, it hardly ever snows.
Exponentially easier than here.
Way easier.
Well, I keep going. You can probably play golf in northern Missouri all winter long.
I know a guy that lives on the border of southern Iowa, Kenny, and I don't think he owns a snowblower, a shovel, or anything.
The snowplow I have on my truck right now, I bought from a guy in Iowa who was moving to Missouri.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Here's John Haidt. In national and international news, the United Kingdom, Canada, and Australia formally recognizing a Palestinian state yesterday. That decision breaks from U.S. policy and marks a significant shift for countries like the UK, which had long maintained that statehood should be determined through direct negotiations between the Israelis and Palestinians. The decision allows the countries to receive a Palestinian ambassador and sign bilateral treaties. The three cited the ongoing war in Gaza, including restrictions on humanitarian aid, as well as expanding settlements in the West Bank for the change. Families of Israeli hostages held by Hamas in Gaza had asked the UK and others to hold off on the decision until hostages were released, citing concerns that recognition could appear to reward Hamas and affect ceasefire negotiations. Nearly a dozen countries have announced similar plans since last year, and others, including France, expected to make similar announcements today as the countries gather for the UN General Assembly. At least 150 of the 193 UN member states recognize Palestine as a state. Tech giant Oracle will receive a copy of the algorithm powering TikTok to operate for U.S. users, that according to a senior official in President Trump's administration today. Determining next steps for the algorithm, currently owned by the Beijing-based ByteDance, has been one of the most closely watched issues during negotiations over TikTok's future. The Trump administration official said they believe the plan will satisfy national security concerns if TikTok divests from its Chinese parent ByteDance. President Joe Biden had signed bipartisan legislation before leaving office requiring the company to sell its assets to an American company or face a ban. President Trump announcing a move to dramatically reshape the nation's immigration system, attaching hefty new fees to H-1B visas and rolling out a gold card for those willing to pay $1 million to secure U.S. residency. A new $100,000 annual fee for H-1B visa applications intended to crack down on a system the Trump administration says has been used by tech companies to avoid hiring American workers. Currently, applicants for the H-1B visa have to pay a small fee to enter into a lottery systems, and the winners of that pay a larger fee to submit their full applications.
Does he get the money personally?
No, it goes to the state.
All right.
It goes to the state, Joe. The country, the U.S. government.
Yeah.
They can spend it better than anybody else, right?
Well, I would assume that the company would pay the bill. You're bringing in some high-tech kid from Korea. You probably are paying the bill.
No.
Not
So you
the
got to
kid.
pay to become a citizen, or is this just temporary?
That's the $1 million one. That's not the other one.
But normal, everyday people that want to immigrate to the USA, they don't have to pay, do they? They can't just take the test and...
No, they don't have to pay. They just come in illegally.
An estimated 200,000 people attended that memorial service honoring Charlie Kirk yesterday at State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. The service was organized by Turning Point USA, the youth organization Kirk co-founded, which is now led by his widow, Erica Kirk. The event included speeches by Christian leaders, conservative activists, and public officials, including Secretaries Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Marco Rubio, and Pete Hegseth. Vice President J.D. Vance credited Kirk with helping to elect the Trump administration. President Trump headlined the event, praising Kirk's impact and his legacy.
I'm surprised, John, they put so many powerful people in one room. I don't the president and vice president usually not go to the same event in the event of trouble? But there was no trouble, so
What did you
all
say?
worked out.
How many people, Johnny?
200,000 total. I believe a lot were outside though because they couldn't fit all in, from what I saw.
Holy cow! Your buddy Elon and Trump were pictured together.
They patched things up.
Did they?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, a Turning Point USA event called the American Comeback Tour, scheduled for this afternoon at the University of Minnesota. It will feature conservative political commentator Michael Knowles. Kirk, of course, Turning Point USA's founder, was scheduled to talk at the event. It's at Northrop Auditorium, and their special event bag policy will be in effect, meaning attendees won't be allowed to bring in water bottles, signs, or any other displayable items. The U of M also says Northrop will be closed until an hour before the event. That means the auditorium's east doors will open at 5:30 today. Tickets and matching IDs are required for all who attend. The event is already sold out.
Does that mean it's going to be a nightmare to try to get out of here today?
Yes.
Well, don't go through campus.
But I'm just saying protests and all that nonsense.
No, I think you'll be fine.
No, give it a shot. Let us know.
think you'll
You
be
run through
fine.
and let us know. You'll be our guinea pig.
Joe's going to be on hole 3 by then. He doesn't care long as
Not raining in my area.
Everything's fine.
Right.
Everything's fine. I'm not playing, so don't.
I'm sorry.
Tom Homan, who was later named President Trump's border czar, was recorded in September of last year accepting a bag with $50,000 in cash in an undercover FBI investigation, according to people familiar with the case. The case was later shut down by Trump administration officials. The cash payment, which was made inside a bag from the food chain Cava, grew out of a long-running counterintelligence investigation that was not targeting Homan, according to the people. Homan's encounter with the undercover agents recorded on audio tape led him to be investigated for potential bribery and other crimes after he apparently took the money and agreed to help the agents, who were posing as businessmen, secure future government contracts related to
wait a
border
minute.
security.
They weren't targeting him.
No.
Did I hear that
It's-
correctly?
that's-
They just
that's
picked that
correct.
up as a bonus.
Well, and this is even better.
I don't. Go ahead.
Even better, apparently, according to the sources, he had agreed to do specific acts in exchange for the money, but he wasn't in any position to do any acts.
Well, I just want everybody to know, you give me a bag of cash, I'll tell you that I'll do what you want, and then you'll never see me again.
See you later.
Basically, he did, but then he got
You got it
appointed.
first thing tomorrow? No problem.
Everything I know I've learned from Angel on Rockford Files.
I got
Sonny
50%
Curtis.
of 10% of nothing.
Come on, Jimmy.
Sonny Curtis, a prolific singer-songwriter who performed with Buddy Holly, opened for Elvis Presley, and wrote a lot of hits like I Fought the Law, Walk Right Back, and Love Is All Around. The theme from the Mary Tyler Moore Show died on Friday in Nashville. Sonny Curtis was 88. The cause of his death, complications from pneumonia. During his 7-decade career, he wrote hundreds of songs which were performed by a remarkable range of musicians, including the Everly Brothers, country star Keith Whitley, Bobby V.
The Clash.
Well, the Bobby Fuller Four, Hank Williams Jr., Roy Orbison, Bruce Springsteen, Stray Cats, and The Clash among those that recorded I Fought the Law.
No kidding. Wow.
Curtis said the song came quick. He said, I wrote it in about 15 minutes. If you can listen to it, you can tell you don't have to be a rocket scientist to write those lyrics.
Yeah.
However, those 15 minutes, very lucrative.
Yeah.
He told the Tennessean in 2014, of all the songs I've written, that's definitely my most important copyright. It's been recorded a lot. Curtis got his start in music as a teen after a friend introduced him to Buddy Holly, who grew up in nearby Lubbock, Texas. In 1957, he played guitar on Holly's album That'll Be the Day. The next year, Curtis began playing guitar with Holly's band The Crickets, but after opening for Elvis and others, the band fell apart, mostly because Holly moved to New York. Holly, as we know, died in a plane crash in 1959. Not long after that, the Crickets got back together, and he eventually joined again, writing I Fought the Law. The band played together in various forms through the 80s and 90s and were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2012. Curtis was living in Los Angeles and writing commercial jingles in 1970 when he got a tip from a friend that the creators of the Mary Tyler Moore Show needed a theme song. The producers showed him a 4-page summary of the show. He wrote a song, played it for the creators of the show at a meeting, and the rest, as they say, is history.
Well, he had a hell of a successful career.
Wonderful career.
Yeah.
Wonderful career.
Love Is All Around. Is it that one?
No.
We're going to make it after all. Dun, 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 dun.
Playing the role of rookie today.
Yeah, love
Thanks.
is all around. What the hell? I do worry sometimes about you people.
Oh,
you
we're
people.
having fun with you, John.
I understand.
Yeah, John, or you
Well,
got-
I got one more if you want.
I want more.
This one kind of amazed me. A 3,000-year-old. Some people don't appreciate some things. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
I'll say, John.
A 3,000-year-old golden bracelet recently stolen from the Egyptian Museum in Cairo was sold for $4,000 and melted down. Officials
Wait.
revealed Saturday.
Oh,
That's it? $4,000?
priceless. Oh, my Lord.
A restoration specialist at the museum reportedly confessed to pilfering the artifact. The bracelet belonged to Pharaoh Amenemhotep, who ruled during the 21st dynasty in what's known as the Third Intermediate Period in Egypt. While his 9-year rule was relatively unremarkable, his burial site is one of just 3 known royal tombs that were discovered fully intact.
He just kind of called it in for 9 years, going, "Yeah, Egypt's fine. We're good. We got pyramids."
Egypt has strict rules regarding the protection of antiquities, and thefts of artifacts is punishable by about a $200,000 fine and life in prison. The theft comes just weeks before the similarly named Grand Egyptian Museum is set to open near Giza, due to be the world's largest museum dedicated to a single civilization.
Thank you,
John, look back on that story. Say that pharaoh's name again, if you could, for me.
Amenemhotep.
Da 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 da.
I'm on a Nemo.
Da 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 da.
I'm on a Nemo.
Da 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 da.
Love that. Good catch.
Minnesota, are we on the road to becoming California?
Yeah.
Join the Center of the American Experiment Friday, October 10 at the Omni Vikings Lake Hotel in Eagan. Is that on the campus of the
Sure
Vikings,
is.
where the Vikings
Yeah, right
play
off of 494.
or train? They'll have Michael Schellenberger in for the evening. He's an author, journalist, and California truth teller. Schellenberger sounds the alarm on failed policies around crime, homelessness, and environmental extremism and warns Minnesota not to follow suit. You know what you get with these American Experiment deals? You get the lively reception. And in this case, you get beautiful views and a powerful... I say beautiful views because it's called... what's it called? Vikings Lakes. There might be some water there.
Yeah, they got some water there.
Lakes.
Maybe more than one, I think. But it's a nice area. Yes, there are some good viewing
You know
areas.
what? Nothing gets by you.
Not
They
me,
got a really
baby.
good restaurant there in the hotel.
Really?
Yes, they do.
Okay. And a powerful message from Schellenberger that matters now more than ever. Get your tickets today at AmericanExperiment.org. That's Friday, October 10 at Omni Vikings Lakes Hotel. AmericanExperiment.org.
You cannot stop him. He'll just make a move. Joe Souchere.
Hofferman Water and Connecticut have been proud supporters of the Garage Logic podcast for a number of years now. And here's the deal. Somebody asked me over the weekend, did you really start out as a customer? Yeah, that's how the relationship started. And
Wasn't that me?
No, I don't think so.
I wasn't.
But then Jim said, "Aren't you the guy from GL?" I said, "Yeah." So that's how the relationship started. And I'm really happy that I made the switch, and I think you will be too, because it's wonderful, state-of-the-art reverse osmosis system that I have installed in my house, and it's made an amazing difference in the quality of my water. It'll do the same thing for you as well. Also, worth noting, it really helps the upsale value in your house, by the way, if you have a water treatment system from Hofferman Water and Connecticut. So here's the deal. You have to get on the schedule first and foremost and have them come out for that free water analysis. And you can do that one of two ways. You can call them directly at 612-895-2440 or go to their website, which is HoffermanWater.com. And as long as you're on that website, you can see every single water treatment system that they have to offer. Once again, 612-895-2440 or visit HoffermanWater.com. Hofferman Water has been proudly serving the state of Minnesota for over 50 years. Do me a favor and mention that you heard about them on the Garage Logic podcast.
Say, John, the Mink notes that he was very disappointed in you that you didn't know the word prevaricate.
Oh.
The rest of the staff,
I'm excused?
He understood, but he thought there's no
a shot, isn't it there?
Well, it's sort of a backhand compliment and a...
Well, yeah, it is. It
sort
is.
of,
Yeah,
sort of, I guess.
I'd love to give you an update on Sophia Forchess, but I am limited to the Hennepin County Medical Center website, and the good news is there certainly is no news of any setback at all.
Okay.
So I just feel her recovery is terribly important, not only to her and her family, but I don't know, I just think on a larger level, for some reason, I've begun to believe her recovery is crucial to the world, if you know what I'm saying.
It's just a glimmer of hope, for
I guess that's what I was driving at.
How about the fact that that was pretty cool that Carson Wentz wore that shirt pregame, the Annunciation shirt.
Yeah, a lot of the guys have
that. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. Now, well, we got Monday Night Sports talk.
Joe,
yes.
I'm not going to waste football talk.
Joe, what time is it in your world?
Fall has just begun.
I mean,
there it is.
Wow, there's the sounder.
The fall
Spare
equinox
no expense.
occurred at 1:19, and that's our equipment.
Yeah, we got it.
We have good
Nothing
equipment.
but the best.
Yep.
Oh, we have that. Yeah.
Well, okay.
Ding.
We do have a couple of different alarm. I mean, was this one? Then are we going to use?
You're not dreaming.
Well, that's not. That's a ad. I was trying to see if I should play that or maybe. Oh, that's probably for summer.
That's emergency.
That's probably for summer.
That's when the whole station's
You
coming.
normal people now, you have to adjust to fall.
51.
I've highly acclimated.
Yeah, and fall. I embrace fall. Fall is nice. Leaves change. It's crisp. Police are there.
Now it's spring.
I like them apple orchard donuts. Them
I like
donuts,
turnovers. Yes.
cinnamon
You like
or whatever
those,
they are.
huh?
Yeah,
We gotta go see Terry Train's. What's it? Lucy
her
Line
orchard.
Orchard.
It's been fall for me since Labor Day, so
All right. Only because.
Okay, Kenny.
It hasn't been fall in his area yet.
Good news, Kenny.
Joe,
Okay,
it's
Kenny.
funny you should mention it. I have a note. It's right here on my phone
Yeah.
from my wife.
Yeah.
Should I bring home apple cider donuts? And I said no.
Oh,
So I should have.
no.
I should have said yes.
Oh, they're
anytime.
fantastic. Yeah.
Next time.
Okay, Kitty. Only because they come to us all the way from Spain, Barcelona, Spain, where the traveling Lymans are right now. You can follow them on their travels at worldwidewaftage.com. Well, it was on this day.
Joe, today is September 22nd.
In 1895, one of the many Elmers in Minnesota was born, Elmer A. Benson. We had a lot of Elmers that ran through the governor's office. Elmer A. Benson was born in Appleton, Minnesota. See, we're starting to get to where governors now were born here. He served as governor from 1937 to 1939, representing the Farmer Labor Party, which are now a bunch of Marxists. Under his watch, the state's first workers' compensation law was passed. His sympathy for communist principles led to distrust among members of his party. He had sympathy for the commies, but he retained control of the Farmer Labor Party until 1944, when it merged with the Democratic Party. Increasingly radical, Benson became a marginal figure in Minnesota politics and returned to farm in Appleton until his death on March 13th, 1985.
What was this guy's name?
Elmer A. Benson. Commie.
Oh. And it said, as a side gig, he made and invented glue.
Jeez. Honest to God.
On this day.
Joe, is this where the love affair
But they
began?
named it after his first name, not his last.
I wonder.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he was
The
held
little
in
white-
high suspicion by
Yeah.
the state. Unlike today, they don't know what to think.
Putting secret papers together, sticking them together.
You serious, Clark?
Baseball.
We're doing 2 different shows here.
Boy, and I'm trying to just do one.
I'm here, by the way.
I know. On this day,
September 22nd.
1968.
Okay.
You should know this.
Is this all 9 positions?
3 months before I was born.
Yes.
Because I remembered you guys talking about it being an end of the year.
This kind of comes up every year on this day.
It really does.
Yeah. Cesar Tovar played all 9 positions during a Twins game.
I don't want to brag, but Adam Klein did the same thing for the Faribault Lakers 3 years ago.
Doesn't that kind of promote that promotes the idea that baseball is just a novelty sport, not really serious about itself?
More worried about stats
On
and
this
stuff.
day,
September 22nd.
are you aware of Eddie Goodell, Kenny?
Yeah, sure. He was a great
Shortstop.
governor here in Minnesota.
Well, I was going to help you a little bit.
He was at the Fort
with your.
Snelling.
I was going to help you a little bit with your ridiculous claim. He was the midget that Bill Vex sent up to the plate because they had no strike zone, so he was
walked.
just a little person. He walked.
How did he walk?
They didn't bowl him out there, did they?
There's a great picture of him batting, too. Have you
Yeah,
ever seen that?
just a little guy.
Just tiny.
On
Lay
this
him
day,
down on a skateboard, give him a push.
on this day in sports disappointment history,
September 22nd.
1929. Why does he have to comment from the other room? He goes, "Wow."
He was real
1929.
short guy.
What?
Yes.
Yes.
Live in studio audience.
Applause.
Where were we?
September 22nd.
1929. The Minneapolis Marines were reborn as the Red Jackets, played their first game and lost to the Bears 19-6. I guess that's football. And the Bears would have been the Chicago Bears, maybe?
Sure. Original franchise.
Well, the NFL wasn't in function in 1929.
Yeah,
There was an NFL then, wasn't there?
No. Find out for me right now. When did the NFL officially begin?
All right.
That was
1920.
What, John?
1920 as the American Professional Football Association before changing its name to the National Football League in 1922.
Okay, then I'm wrong. In 1929, the Minneapolis Marines, later to become the Vikings, you could say,
Joe,
lost to the Bears 19-6.
I'm not offended.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And thank you, GLers.
Yes. Hey, do us a favor if you haven't done so already. You should join the thousands of subscribers on the Garage Logic YouTube channel. And you can watch the show each and every single day on our YouTube channel. Starting right around noon, there's also full segments, there's video shorts, there's behind the scenes footage. It's all there for you. Just search Garage Logic on YouTube. And you can also search for us on all of our social media channels, which includes Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And sign up for the Daily Logician. That's an email that comes right to your inbox each and every single day, and it includes the most recent episode of the podcast. Find out more and sign up today on the website, which is, of course, garagelogic.com.